Alright guys, it's time to review Dragon Ball Super episode number 7, and one word can describe this episode right here. Funny. So the episode begins with Majin Buu sort of getting back up after Bill blasted him last week, and he says, "I'm not done with you yet." And then Bill just knocks him back into the water. And one thing that makes this episode funny, as I said earlier in the video, is throughout the whole entire episode, Vegeta just stands there like a scared little girl right up until the end. But we'll get to that later in the video. Another thing that happened is Dende is able to do something that nobody else has seemed to be able to figure out in this version of the series yet. That Bills is in fact a god. And Piccolo says, "Are you sure?" And then Dende says yes. Now, one thing that's also really funny is, at the beginning of the episode, we see Hercule all knocked out from the previous explosion that took place, and in this episode we do get to see Gotenks make a much anticipated reappearance. We also get to see Goten in his sleeveless uniform, so that was kind of cool. But really, the main thing about this episode is it shows that Vegeta has basically become very frightened of Bills, because he stands back the majority of the episode and lets everybody else fight. I mean, you literally get everybody from Android 18 to Tien, even Krillin and Yamcha were gonna get into it. But after Piccolo encountered him and basically saw that he couldn't be stopped, he told him not to warn him. And this warning particularly came from when Gohan tried to step in and say, "Let's end this right now." But Bills just used Majin Buu's body basically as a shield and knocked Gohan back and knocked him out. Now that's another thing. A lot of people have been saying that Gohan's become a weakling, and I guess that could be justified in this, because one enemy's down. Now the main part I want to get to in this review is the transformation that Vegeta undergoes is in fact the more powered up version of Super Saiyan 2, but the way he transforms, it's really actually kind of interesting. He basically snaps after Bills slaps Bulma into this really cool slow motion type of deal. Way cooler than anything Battle of Gods has ever produced. I like this version of Vegeta's fight with Bills way better than the Battle of Gods telling of it. Even though Vegeta won't do any fighting until the next episode begins. And something cool to hint about the next episode is it shows the return of Goku from his training with King Kai. The only thing that Whis really seems to do in this episode is basically do what he did in Battle of Gods, which is try all the nice and lovely food. But he does it in a much more funny and almost kind of girly way. And then Bills gets tired of waiting around for the Super Saiyan God to show up or for anybody to give him a run for his money, and he almost tries to leave more than once in the episode. But Bills asked him to, but Whis asked Bills to wait around a bit longer so he can continue to try all the delicious food, as he puts it. And then, when Bills finally confronts Vegeta, and after they throw a few punches, Bills basically mocks the Saiyans and calls them a bunch of weaklings and tells Vegeta, "You're just like your father, a weakling." And that's literally what came out of Bills' mouth right there, guys. And then, like I said, the transformation's epic. Definitely a very good episode, and I can't wait for the next one. And then, right when Vegeta gives up is actually a really critical point in the episode, because he says, if I'm going to die, I might as well die proudly and die by a god's hand. And Vegeta just about ready to accept it when the slap with Bulma occurs. And then, that's basically the end of the episode, after Vegeta's epic transformation once again. So overall, guys, a really good episode, really worth checking out, and that's all I have for this one. So until next week's review, keep on rocking. Yeah.